Can we say amen?
Amen. Good morning. The subject of our lesson is sharing God's grace.
The word share means to receive equally, to have a share of parts, or a part of a whole. God, the word God means belonging to God or showing ownership. The word grace means the freely given, unmerited favor and love of God.
Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, saints.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have Philippians verse 1, 22 through 26.
No,
For
you're
what?
not next. It's Eric. Eric is next.
Good morning, saints. I had the background, which was Philippians chapter 1, verses 1 through 17. The Apostle Paul is thought to have written this letter to the Philippians during his Roman imprisonment. In verses 1 through 5, Paul opens with a greeting to all saints in Christ who are in Philippi with the bishops and deacons. Verse 6 reads, "Being confident of this very thing, he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ." In verse 6, Paul encourages these saints about the work God has started in them and that Jesus was going to complete. In verse 7 through 12, Paul explains that his being in the jail has actually contributed in the spreading of the gospel. In verses 13 through 17, Paul then describes how there were two types of preaching that were causing disunity in the church. One was of envy and strife from self-ambition, and the other was in love and goodwill.
Amen.
Amen.
Philippians 1st chapter, verse 18. What then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is preached, and I therein do rejoice. Yea, and I will rejoice. Verse 19. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer, and supply the Spirit of Jesus Christ. In verse 18, it's talking about no matter who is preaching, rather in truth or the pretense such as like a pretender, and like a pastor coming in every Sunday preaching for the wrong reasons, just for the money, and a pastor that is preaching in the truth to save lives and spread the word, not only to the old, but the young as well. And verse 19, Paul knew that the prayer from the saints would turn to salvation. He didn't worry about the gospel not getting out to people because he knew they had it under control.
Amen.
I have Philippians, first chapter, and the 20th through the 21st verse. 20 reads, "According to my earnest expectation and my hope, that in knowing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness, as always, so now also Christ shall be magnified in my body, whether it be life or by death. For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." So verse 20 was basically talking about how he was saying, no matter what situation or how it is, God shall be magnified in your body, whether life or death. And he was saying that he knew they were probably going to kill him. And he said in verse 21, he was saying, for them to kill him for just preaching the gospel was to gain his own status, I guess to say. So that's
Good morning, saints.
Good morning.
I have Philippians chapter 1, verse 18 to 19. For what reason, as long as Christ was preached, for what reason, as long as Christ was preached, for whatever person, the Philippians were, verse 19, the Philippians were blessed, or a blessing to all.
Amen.
Good morning, saints.
Good morning.
I have Philippians
Philippians chapter 1, verses 22 through 26. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful to you. Here Paul is saying, yet he does not know what to choose, life or death. And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your readiness and joy of faith. Paul is torn between the two, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Jesus Christ for me by coming to you again. He desires to depart to be with Christ, which is better by far. But he realizes that it's best for the Philippians if he is with them again, so that their joy in Jesus Christ might be in abundance.
Amen. Sit down, please. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Practical points. We should rejoice when the true gospel is preached, even if we have qualms about the preacher or method. The goal of our prayers should always be that Christ is magnified. God's will is far more important than whether we live or die.
Amen. Amen. All right, amen. Sister Bessie's going to come with, and her group going to come